Hey there, friends. Should we exercise when we don't feel good? Should we still go out there and do it anyway, even if we just are feeling really cruddy? That's what we're going to talk about today, is give you some clear guidelines that you can work with for yourself. So then when you're thinking, is this a motivation thing? Or is this something I can push through? Or should I give it a try? What do I do? Should I exercise when I don't feel good? Yes. So let's just dive right into this. You wake up one morning. Here's the scenario number one. You wake up one morning and you really feel awful, like really, really crappy. And so you waddle into the bathroom, find that thermometer, if that's where you keep your thermometer. That's where I keep mine. You take your temperature and you've got a low-grade fever, okay? Now, that's the part where we're like, okay, what do I do? Now, remember, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. These are just some things for you to think about. Then you have to make your own best decision for you. But you already know that, right? Okay, good. Got that covered. You got a low-grade fever. So it's like 100, somewhere right in there. Maybe 100 point something. You feel really crappy. Should you go and exercise anyway? Well, if you have a fever, please don't go out and spread your germs around. Especially right now in 2020, 2021, that's kind of a non-negotiable. We know that already. But beyond what we know, then what do we do? Well, let's take another scenario. You wake up and you've got a really bad headache. Like you've got a headache so bad, you're feeling nauseous and you feel like you might throw up. You're feeling really awful. You get headaches all the time, and this is just a bad one. Okay? Should you still exercise? All right. Here we go. Another scenario. You don't have a fever, but your stomach just doesn't feel right. And you just feel like crampy and not very good. And you just feel like all you want to do is crawl back in bed. Okay. These are the scenarios we're talking about. These are the scenarios where we get like our old panties all in a bunch about, the whole line between I'm not a big fan of no pain, no gain, do it anyway, be dedicated, versus is this good for me to exercise? Is it bad for me? Versus intuitive, listening to your body and the intuition in your body, versus all kinds of things. Okay, so you've got one of these things going on. If you just say intuitively, your body's saying, I want to sleep, okay? I want to say, pause here and ask yourself to give some form of movement a try. And here's why. Nobody in these situations, nobody got sicker by exercising. Uh-huh. Da da da. If you have a headache and you try to move and try to walk, or if you have that stomach ache or you have that low-grade fever and you try to do some movement and walking, if your headache gets worse, then try something else. If your stomach ache gets way worse, try something else, probably laying down, right? If your low-grade fever just makes you feel like way wiped out, try something else. But before you try something else, I want to encourage you to move your body. And the reason why is because for a lot of us, even those of us with chronic illness, especially those of us with chronic illness, especially those of us who are aging, especially those of us who have sedentary lifestyles, our bodies revolt when we think about movement and moving. And so if you go out and start walking, you'll be amazed at how many times your body starts feeling better. And the reason is like trifold here. One, you start breathing a little more, so you get more oxygen in your blood, and your blood is moving through your body more. That circulates things and gets things up and running and moving and getting your system to flush out whatever it is that is bothering you. Sometimes, not always, headaches. Getting your body moving kind of helps open up everything going on that's causing that headache and helps it go away. for all of us, for every single one of us, no matter whether it's chronic illness or disease or whatever it is, moving your body moves the fluids in your lymphatic system. And we talked about the lymphatic system before. And by moving the fluids in your lymphatic system, you're moving toxins out of your body. And for some reason, I even hate saying the word toxin because it just sounds, I don't know, it sounds overused. And so anyhow, but it legit, it moves the fluids through your body. It helps your body clean itself out. It helps your body get stronger. So movement always, always helps. So here's the rule of thumb. You feel sick. You've got a headache. You don't know if you can do it. You're going to experiment and try. Okay? And I've done this before. One time I was in bed with a horrible headache, and I had a friend who called me. It was a beautiful day. She's like, let's go for a walk. And I said, I can't. I've got this migraine. It's awful. I can't do it. It's just too much. And so she's like, okay, I'll miss you, but I'm going to go for a walk anyway. I lay in bed, and the extrovert in me says, just try. So I called my friend back and I said, okay, my dear friend, I'm going to give it a try. And either my headache is going to get better or I'm going to end up throwing up because it's so much worse. But you know what? I'm miserable right now anyway. So really, I can be miserable in bed or I can go for a walk and give it a try and see how if I feel better. So I forced myself to get up and we went for a walk, and gosh darn it, within 15 minutes of our walk, my headache was gone. And before I started it, I thought there was no frickin' way in the moon that I could ever do this. And I actually told her, I was like, hey, I know I'm probably going to throw up. And I was fine. In fact, I was great. And I know my case is not everybody's case, right? We all have different bodies, but here's another story for me. When I started teaching group fitness, when you're the teacher, you can't just bail out. And you can't just say, oh, I don't feel good, or oh, I'm so tired. And now I don't necessarily recommend this for everybody, but I want to tell you my experience so you can just take it for yourself. When I taught, there were so many times where I thought to myself, I do not want to teach this class. And this was like driving to the gym and teaching. There were times when I literally sat in the parking lot and just wiped away tears because I was just so tired and so exhausted. But I was like, I got to do this. Every single time, I still did the class. At the end of class, I felt awesome. I felt so much better. I felt happier. I was proud of myself for doing it. I did what I could. Some of these classes, I just took it easier when I taught them, but it was fine. My body still liked to move. And when I saw the best gains, that was when I was doing this exercise all the time, over and over again. And when I got home, I was crazy busy. And when I got home, I realized I gained back in energy all the time I lost doing the exercise. So it was always worth it. And I kept telling myself, don't forget this, Lynn, don't forget this. Exercise is worth it. It gives you more energy once you get into shape. So, well, actually, I think even when you're out of shape, it gives you more energy, but blah, blah, blah. And so that's what I want you to do. I really want you to see this as an experiment and to say, if I don't feel good, I'm going to try anyway. And the worst case scenario, I go back to bed and I still don't feel good. Not bad. There is only an upside in trying. In fact, your worst case scenario is better than not trying, because if you go back to bed because it didn't work and you really didn't feel good, then we're further behind because you tried, and that's awesome. So that's what I want you to do today. If you're feeling crappy, cruddy, whatever it is, give it a try, experiment, take it easy, and just see how it goes. And you will be surprised. Alrighty, friends, I want to help you get this going. If you want more help in this arena, in like really talking through your specific situation, head on over to couchtoactive.com, go to the coaching tab, sign up with me. We will sit down together and we will work through the details of your situation and get you up and running on this whole like exercising and conquering through chronic illness and whatever else you got going on. All right? It would be my honor. You are worth it. couchtoactive.com.